Man, this is this podcast. We have interviews and smoke. You know how we do it, man. We got a little free game for you. Make sure you check us out on the Underground Lab. You know, right here. We'll be doing it every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on the Underground Lab. That's Peep This Podcast, interviews and smoke with a little free game for you. All right, make sure y'all check us out.
What's up, people? Welcome to the Root Cause Podcast. Welcome to the Root Cause Podcast, where we like to have the hard conversations and where iron sharpens iron. Today we look a little different because my guys are out of town. We got Miguel Brown and his wife in Atlanta knocking down the stage, learning, and some more stuff. We got DJ Shane getting ready for his album release party, and LT could be anywhere in the world right now, but he's handling his business. Today we have a special show for you guys. We have a special guest. But before we get into that, we really want to do our community work that we need to do. Let's get into it. Let's start with Pivotal Operational Practice. Pivotal Operational Practice is a VA program, a virtual assistant company that would take care of the back office needs of your business. You can't go out and be the face of your business if you're always handling payroll. You can't always be the face of your business if you're always worrying about the next spreadsheet or a little bit of what's going on in the overhead or just your employees. Check out our Pivotal Operational Practices. Allow them to get your systems together, your project management systems, and all kind of things for you so that you can be successful. We have Marriage Moments with Miguel and Kim. Marriage Moments with Miguel and Kim come on every week. You can catch them every week. I believe it's Monday on podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts. We have iHeart. We have Spotify, Pandora, and much more. This podcast is they're transparent. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It gives you a window insight to another perspective in marriage. We got DJ Shane. DJ Shane is coming out with his new album, his project. This is an album release party that takes place on the 17th of June at 903 U Street Northwest from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. There'll be performances, there'll be food, there'll be alcohol, there'll be men, there'll be women. Come out, join DJ Shane. After that, he has the Hustle and Motivate Movement Conference, where you will have the likes of BJ Page, Dr. E, and also our brother Miguel Brown as speakers. This will be awesome in beautiful Cancun, Mexico. Hey, let's not forget my project. We have Calculated with Love, still out there, still available for order. It's Father's Day. It is graduation season. You got young men that are graduating from college, from high school, all of. Get them Calculated with Love, mom and dad. Get them Calculated with Love, mom. If you by yourself, if you need another perspective, get it, grab it. I'll be in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania speaking September the 14th. You can go on calculatedwithlove.com for more information coming your way. Hey, I said we got one more new one, right? Milestones and Elevation Community Development. Milestones, Elevation, and Community Development. Not only, this is a nonprofit that is catered to the entire family, not just kids, not just women, and not just men. They cater to the entire family, yo. So go on Milestones and Elevations communitydevelopment.com. You'll be able to find out how you can donate. You'll be able to find out how you can volunteer, or if you even need help as far as resources. These people are in the community doing real work. I was blessed to get my flowers by them and be recognized by them last week. So shout out to Milestones and Elevations Community Development Group. Hey, let's get into it. We have a special guest today. A special guest. You know his voice when you hear it. He has that DC accent. He carries the city on his shoulders wherever he goes. This brother has been you might have first seen him at Mr. Henry's and Adams Morgan just tearing up the stage. You could have also seen him on BET Team Summit. He's written many of Team Summit episodes and produced them and direct them for the DC and New York campus. He was also on Showtime with the Apollo. He's been on Def Comedy Jam. He's also been on tour many times in Cat Williams camp. So we're talking about the great Rodney Red Grant, running for mayor of Washington, D.C. Welcome, Mr. Grant.
Hey, man, thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
We are glad that you took time out your day to be with us today, man. So I want to first off by asking you, how is your mental? How are you doing mentally right now?
I'm doing outstanding mentally. I think this is a great opportunity that we all have as a city to get our city back in order. I think that, it's a lot of things that's going on in our city that are dealing with mental health. So, I'm more concerned about others' mental health than my own. I think that we all have a situation to come together as a city and help one another be more mentally stable. And, just for you to even bring up the first question is, how is your mental? I think that's an awesome question that we should ask one another all the time, because, I think people assume that our mental is always great. And sometimes people are not going through great mental health. And, it's one of the biggest parts of my platform is dealing with mental health and helping people to understand that they have an option to, and people who care about their mental health. And, we deal with it all the time. We have to have more mental health professionals in our schools. We got to have more mental health professionals in our communities. And we got to even have more mental health. We got to become more professional mental health individuals to each other. I think that sometimes, we don't hug each other enough. We don't, that's why my platform is built off of love, care, and respect. I think that's something that we're losing within our communities, and we have to get it back, because we look at so much TV and we look at so many different outlets that stray our minds from the real issues. And the real issue is, how do we come together as not only a nation, but how do we come together as a city? How do we come together as cities? And how do we come together as people in general? Because our separatism is just as strong right now as it was in the 60s, and that is terrible.
Yeah. And I asked that question because you have now put on another hat to your toolbox, and that is now politician. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so the politics games can be a rough game, but you're a Washingtonian. You grew up in this area, you know. So, and also being an entertainer, you're no stranger to the politics of a lot of things. But as we saw President Obama, he went in there, his hair wasn't gray, he didn't look stressed out, but he came out a little different. So that can be tough. How have things been since you since you stepped on this platform and you put on the political hat?
Well, it shows you that when you put yourself in a political realm, it's a lot of people that don't want you there. Right. I made an announcement last May 15th of 2021 to become the next mayor of Washington, D.C. And I saw the change of individuals that were around me. I saw the changes of individuals that I knew. But what I'm starting to understand, and as I speak to people and I speak to my mentors, they let me know that sometimes it's not really about the people who are going to come at you. No, you have to be the bigger person in these situations and want to work with everyone, right? You notice and you see what they're doing, how they're coming at you, but it's not really about that. It's more about your constituents. It's about how can we help our constituents to live a better life, live in our society, and be better in our society. And that's what I really care about. I knew when I took on this role that I was going to be in the political realm, and I understand what comes with that. So If you put yourself on a football field, know you're going to get tackled. If you put yourself in a basketball court, know you're going to get fouled. If you put yourself in a jiu-jitsu ring, know you're going to have a possibility of getting your arm broke. I mean, these are the possibilities that you put yourself in. And if I put myself in that position, then I understand what comes with that position. And that is political backlash, people that don't agree with what I'm trying to do. But it's not about them. It's about the constituents. And I try to stay focused on that part. Try to stay focused on the residents and what they need, because they need city services. They need people a person that understands how to lead and to get them the things that they want and need in this city. So I want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that becomes the person who plays the political game like they play, because I'm not that person. I come from a different background. I'm an outsider to that political situation, and I don't want to ever have to go into that realm with people, and they might try to bring me in that realm, but I'm gonna tell them, like I tell you, that it's about the constituents, it's about the people that I serve and I'm going to serve, and I want to work with everybody, and that's why I'm running as an independent. I want to be able to work with everybody. You know, the wool have been pulled over our eyes so many times by different and party line politics, and we got to stop and think for ourselves independently. Who are we? What do we want? How are we trying to move into the future so we'll have better outlets for ourselves and better situations for ourselves? And when we become mentally stable like that, then we can have more and we can work with more people. But getting involved with he said whatever he said, you know, I'm Red Grant. My background is entertainment. I've done comedy. You know, I'm a philanthropist. I'm a humanitarian. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I run nonprofit organizations that help individuals, and I care about the city and I care about the services. And I'm the only person in this race that's actually an executive who's worked at Viacom Network, who's employed thousands of people, who's worked with millions of dollars in budgets, who actually understands how to run a corporation. And DC being one of the biggest corporations in the world, then, you know, they can say what they want to, but they still have to face me, and they have to understand that I'm not the person that they think I am, and I won't be going that way.
There we go. So you run your platform, and I've heard you say it on many occasions that you want to run it like it's a business. And so we've heard that talk before, and we've heard it from President Trump. You know, President Trump said that he wanted to run America like it was a business, and we saw how that turned out. What will you do that's different? Because you're saying similar things, but what will you do that's different? And of course, this is the seat for the mayor, but I consider Washington, D.C. to be one of the most powerful cities in the world. Okay? So what will you do that's different than...
I disagree with you that I ever, you know, say anything that President Trump has ever said. But I think that, you know, if you look at what's going on in our city and how funds are being allocated, you know, it's not being run like a business. Now, the people of this city talk every day about what they need, right? But it falls on blind eyes and deaf ears. So when I say my background is business, you know, that's what it is. It's also service also. So, you know, yeah, business and services, they go hand in hand. You know, I'm also a people person. I'm also a person that listens to, you know, all people. I'm also a God-fearing man. I'm also a person that understands that, you know, if the people are not satisfied, then you're not doing a good job, and you have to try to satisfy everyone. When people say, well, you can't satisfy everyone, but you can try to satisfy everyone. You can try to help everyone. So when I say, you know, businessman, I stand on that, being a businessman, but I also stand on a person that is a service to my community at the same time, because I never want anybody to think that he doesn't know how to run a corporation, because that's just what it is. This is what our city is, you know, and a lot of legislators try to run a corporation, and that's why we're in our position that we're in today, because they are legislating instead of understanding how to allocate. And I'm a person that stands on that I'm going to allocate properly and force individuals to understand equity has to be shared amongst all people. You know, diversity has to be shared amongst all of us. Inclusion has to go toward all of us. And if it's not happening like that, then we're failing as a community, we're failing as a government, and we're failing as just people in general, and we're not pulling each other up. This is a simple plan. It's not like a whole, people make it like so complicated, right? It's not complicated. People are hurting out here in real life. They're asking for help in real life. We have the resources to help these individuals in real life, whether it be from the schools, education, whether it be homelessness, whether it be affordable housing, whether it be public safety. These are real things that people can get help with if you have a plan to help people. But a lot of times people don't have no plan. They just want to fluff you up. They just want to tell you this and get you out their head. But it's no plan that goes with the problem.
There we go. And so I grew up, my mother always taught me, seek to serve and success will come. And that sounds like that's what you're doing. And speaking of your service, you've been out there in the community, my brother. Can you speak a little bit about some of your initiatives that you got going on, such as Don't Shoot Guns, Shoot Cameras?
Well, I got Don't Shoot Guns, Shoot Cameras. I also have, and that's a program that I started a few years ago to help our young people learn filmmaking from thought to theater. My background, of course, is in filmmaking, and it's very important that I teach people what I learned. I know how filmmaking changed my life. I know what I started seeing after I started creating the things that were in my brain and putting them on paper, then putting them on screen, and then editing it up, and you see a whole a vision come to life. And I just wanted to show our young people that they can do it too. And so we give them opportunities to be filmmakers. I want to make the next Spike Lees and the next Tarantinos, and I want to be that person that says, yeah, you don't have to be a football player, you don't have to be a basketball player, you don't have to be a baseball player. You can actually have another skill that will take you further than that, because you can use it on your phone. You can use your phone to create movies. It's something that we have in our every day. And once you learn how to write your thoughts out, and this is what a lot of people, we talk about mental health too, helps with mental health, when you can write your thoughts out, when you can get out your head, when you can express yourself. And this is just another form of expression. And I think that every school in America should have it in their curriculum. I think we should have more curriculum surrounding the things that our kids want to do. I think, school is failing our kids right now because we're not teaching them the things that they want to learn and motivating them to want to come to school. So these are just programs, and I got Beyond Your Block, which is a program that I started. I wanted to get the youth off their block. Just like I know, once you stay on your block too long, what's going to happen? So I wanted to get them off their block so they can have a place they can see. They can say, oh, damn, it's stuff that goes on outside of my block. And at the same time, mentor them and show them that I come from the same place you come from. My block could have controlled me too, but I wanted to get off my block. I wanted to see different things. And once you get off your block and you get culture, it's over. You get to be a bigger and better person, and you start understanding that maybe I was trapped into a system that has failed me. And I might be trapped around friends that are not in my best interest. So, we're trying to get our kids a lot. I hooked up with the Hustlers Guild. They're an amazing organization to power my programs. And it's just been a great thing. It's been, we're doing our third camp this summer. Our fourth camp this summer in DC. And we're going to continue to have our camps. We're going to continue to be in our schools. And we're going to continue to be in their faces. So, I want to continue to start more organizations and programs, and I want to help more organizations get their programs off the ground. I want to be that catalyst for them.
There we go. I like that. So I've watched you for a long time, my guy. The first person that introduced me to you.
I hate that your eyes must be hurting if you watched me for a long time.
Well, I'm saying you've been in the game. You've been in the game for a long time, guy. And I had a cousin. My cousin introduced me to you on it was Showtime at the Apollo was where I first saw you.
Oh man,
and that's been a while, yo. That's been a long while, and you've had an opportunity to travel the world and also live in different states in America. So you spent a lot of time on the West Coast. I'm a big fan of the West Coast. I'm a big fan of California. How do you plan to bring some of those innovative things and innovative political thought processes to the East Coast, to Washington, D.C., or is that a fit?
I just think that anybody from Washington, D.C. can get along and live anywhere, right? We're a special city that teaches us. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
That teaches us that we can go anywhere and adapt, right? Mm-hmm. When I first got on television, it was when I was 19 years old. I did Def Comedy Jam in Apollo the same weekend, right? I did Apollo first, and then I did Def Jam the next day. These are two of the hardest shows in America to do at that time, right? Both of them, you can possibly get booed out of the whole city of New York, right? So I take pride in being able to get through that at a young age, because, but I also give credit to my city that it trained me to be in that position. But when I moved to New York, I felt like I was ready because, I was able to adapt because of where I come from. I always fall back on DC because it just helped me get to where I was going. And I don't feel like I'm just bringing the stuff from there. I feel like I took something there. I took DC there. Mm-hmm. When I first met Nipsey, I was living in Los Angeles in the 60s, right? And I saw Nipsey at the end of my block selling CDs. And he was like 15, 16 years old selling CDs. And when he got on, and I was going to the studio and I became friends with Nipsey, it was like, damn, I remember I used to see you all the time on the block, on his block. But I never even realized that was really a gang banging block because of the adaptability of where I come from. I was just living in a community that was just like my community, that had the same issues that my community had. So, and when I moved to New York, I moved to Harlem, and I moved to the Bronx, and I moved to, Brooklyn. It didn't feel like I was really in like what they would call a hood. I was feeling like I was just getting along with the culture of that place. And I just feel like, I'm bringing cultures from DC, but I'm also bringing cultures from everywhere else. And I think that you can learn from every city that you go to, and it's something that is good in that city that you can bring with you, and I'm going to always, be able to fall back on that. And I think it's a plus for what I'm doing right now. And I've been trained through these different waves of where I've been. And I'm truly happy and proud to be able to go to these places and learn these cultures. And God has moved me through these paths to learn different things to bring back to my city. Because, if you don't think you can learn anything, even at this age, then you're crazy.
Right. So we don't have much time, but as we wrap up, did your father just pass away?
Yes, he did.
Hey, my brother, you have my condolences, and I pray your strength, and I pray your peace, you and your family. Can you tell us what your father instilled into you to cause you to be the man that you are today?
Oh man, he was like he was everything to me, He was there to teach me how to be a man. I think that is something that is forgotten about, that how Black men have to be raised up to, right? We raise up everybody in America, but sometimes the Black man is stomped on. And we have to really be careful when we're talking about keeping our families together without the Black man involved with it, right? And that's in any culture. You take the man out of the situation, you're not gonna have the same family, right?
Right.
And even though my moms and my pops were divorced, he was still always in my life, right? He was always telling me, regardless if I wanted to hear it or not, he'll tell me that, the real of everything. And my father was a person who got along with everybody, right? Mm-hmm. He had all friends from different walks of life. Even when we was little, I was like, how you have Spanish friends? I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't understand it. How you have so many white friends? Or how you have, African friends? And, it was amazing to me. He was a young guy from Emporia, Skippers, Virginia, and he had all of these cultural friends. And he used to always tell me, Rodney, you cannot put yourself in a box. You cannot box yourself, and you can't allow your other people to box you in. You got to treat everybody with kindness, love, and respect, right?
Yeah.
And he said, always control your emotions. A lot of times, I when we're young, we get emotional, then we just pop off, and we're not thinking a lot. So I try to teach, the things that he's taught me, how to maintain, my emotions and how I deal with people. And he also said, don't burn bridges, don't burn no bridges. I can always remember him telling me, I don't care who it is, Rodney, don't burn no bridge. Don't burn the bridge. Even if they burn your bridge down, don't burn the bridge. So, and I'd be like, sometimes as a human, you like, but
yeah.
But it always comes back to the things that he's talked to me about, and I know because of him, I am going to become the next mayor of Washington, D.C. because of the things that he's taught me, and so I'm always miss him, but he always here in my life, and so it's. I'm glad I got a chance to have him for the time I had him. I'm glad I got a chance to come home and was able to take care of him, as a son. And my sisters was there to help us. So it's one of them times, but, I'm going to get strength out of this whole situation.
There we go. As we wrap up, you have a couple of things getting ready to take off this week. A couple of events. Can you tell people about the events and how to support you and your campaign?
All right. So first of all, let's talk about how to support the campaign. All right. Go to grantfordmayordc.com. And we got a new thing. We say put 5 on it. I got 5 on it. So if everybody that's listening, you just put 5 on it, and it could be increments of 5. If you want to just put $5, 50, 500. 15 and put a 5 on it.
There we go.
Help the campaign grow, because we're an independent campaign, and we want to raise a certain amount of money, and I think that the people itself are going to be that who help us raise that money. And we're doing well in fundraising. I want to continue to do well. So everybody that's listening to this show today, go to grantfordmayordc.com and put 5 on it and become a volunteer. You don't even have to live in DC to become a volunteer. Just click the volunteer button, click the donate button. I guarantee you, you won't be sad. But it all go toward us. Let's win together.
There we go.
So you can also follow me on IG, Red Grant, and follow my Twitter. I'll be on Twitter a lot right now, Red Grant Labs, just expressing myself, expressing my policies and my feelings about what's really going on that I can't express on IG. And, I just want to continue to have more Team Red members. Now you're a Team Red member, and we're going to bring on more and more people. And we just glad that the movement that they said could not be is now being. It's like the little engine that could. I don't know if you know that story, but
I do.
I think I can.
There we go.
So we love everybody who's been supporting the movement. We appreciate all the beautiful podcasts. We appreciate the Root Cause podcast for having me today. It's a special time, and I appreciate you asking some real questions that that people really want to hear, not the fluff questions and none of that. So I appreciate it.
No worries. You have an event coming on.
Oh, yeah. I got the watch party. So on the 21st, the Democratic primary, we will know who we're facing on the 21st. And that's in a few days. That's on Tuesday. We want everybody to come out to Barcode to celebrate with us, because it's going to be a celebration to find out who we're going to face in the general election. And then on the 22nd, I'm doing another fundraiser. It'll be part 2 of the final stage. The first one sold out. We want to sell this one out too. You can go to dcimprov.com. That's on the next day after the primary, June 22nd. And we got so many events coming up. Like, it is so amazing. Like, July 4th, we're taking the yacht out. If you want to be involved with this fundraiser on the yacht on 4th of July, be on the river, the Potomac River, and we're gonna see the fireworks. It's a good time, and I'm so happy that I got the team that I have. Team Red is just like so amazing. Some of the most brightest political minds are around me, and I'm just glad that God just blessed me with ability to have my mental state properly in a proper place, and be able to be focused on the goal.
There we go. So we will be checking back in with you, sir. We will be keeping up with you, and much success. I plan on being at both events. I'm a lover of comedy. I'm always at the Baltimore Comedy Factory. You was just there. We will be at the Improv. You got my support, man. Good luck and be strong, my man.
Make sure you post it on your page.
Will do.
All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Fathers, get out there with your sons